Our last stop here in Enid is the back and side yard of Lita and Tex Milchan, and they've been working on it a long time. It's just beautiful. Come on over here and meet Lita. And Lita, tell us, how long have you been working on this?
For 17 years.
17 years.
1 year old.
Wonderful. And you started out, again, like so many yards we show in Oklahoma gardening, it was just a plain, open, grassy rectangle, right? And what was your first step in laying out the garden like this?
First, I cultivated, and think what I want to plant, and I started first in the middle, an
So
island
just with
bed.
one bed in the middle?
One bed in the middle.
Okay.
And every year I change it, and then later they're at the back.
Okay. And it looks like your theme overall is to have a lot of annual color.
Right.
I noticed Lita has used a lot of Melanompodium, which we've shown on Oklahoma Gardening a time or two in the past. It's an annual that readily self-sows. Is that right?
Yes.
So Lita told me that they started with just one packet of seed a few years ago, and now she has plants all over the place. I'm intrigued by your outdoor rooms that you have around here. Now, off in this direction, what do you call this room back here?
I think that is the living room.
That's the living room, okay. And then you
Yes.
have a little nook over here for the children?
For the children to
Okay.
stay with,
Great. And then back here, you have a path that just sort of wanders back to some fruit trees and so forth. And she's done a good job of screening utilitarian areas of the yard as well. And let's talk a little bit about some of these color combinations you have in the garden. There's a lot of pink and yellow and blue, and I think the blue salvia with the yellow Melanompodium is a great combination.
Yeah, I love those.
Good deal. Well, I notice also when a lot of backyard gardens like this end up with full gardens and lots of plantings, that you end up with very shady pathways, and of course that translates into mud when we have rainy weather. But you've done a lot of nice things with what we call hardscaping. You've done some brick look with the, I guess the walk maker, to do a brick type pathway, and then some round stones. And tell us about those stones that you made with the mugs.
Oh, okay. You just get a plain stone, a stepping stone, and then you buy a mortar. This is ready mix mortar. You add water, and kind of the consistency is kind of like peanut butter.
Okay.
And you can put half an inch or an inch, and then you put the broken cups, or it's supposed to be ceramic.
Okay, ceramic mugs.
Ceramic mugs. That will work perfectly. And also you can use shells, and you can probably think of other ideas that you can do.
Okay, well, it's interesting how she has some stepping stones around here made from broken mugs that have a different theme. One looks sort of Hawaiian, and another one looks has a lot of blue and white in it. So it's really a neat touch, very colorful. Well, you gradually worked on this and got it developed, and you can see over time how you can get a yard looking very lush. How are you watering all of this?
It takes me 2 hours to hand water.
So you go around with a wand?
Every morning, especially during the heat, I'll start 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'll finish it probably 8:30, 9, both the front and the back. Because I cannot use a sprinkler, because if you use a sprinkler, then there are some plants that won't be able to get the water, and to some foliage. Some plants I don't like to be wet, so I have to.
So you can custom water when you need to. That's a good idea. And a lot of people don't realize when you use a sprinkler, you end up with a rain shadow if you have a taller plant, and the ones behind it don't.
And sometimes the sprinkler just the top, and not really well watered.
Okay. Well, Lita, I noticed you have some herbs here that you use in cooking from your homeland. And tell us a little bit about a couple of those unusual herbs.
All right. The one that I like is Oriental chives.
Oriental chives, okay.
And before it blooms, before the flower open, you cut them, and then you cut it 1 inch, and you can stir fry with the shrimp.
Okay. Gives you sort of a garlic chive type flavor. Okay.
And then you put oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce, that would be tasty. Well, and then you also had a sesame plant.
Sesame plant, that's challenging to me. I tried since last year, and this year I finally got 3 plants,
Oh.
3 or 4 plants.
Okay, and you pickle the leaves?
Pickle the leaves, soy sauce, and sesame oil, sesame seed, and that's it.
Great.
And I have some bitter melon too.
Oh.
You cannot buy that in the regular grocery. I have to go to the city to get that. So
yeah.
I said, well, I better plant one.
So
it's
out of necessity, you're growing a lot of
growing,
unusual things.
and I really utilize it. And the Asian bride eggplant too.
I see. And I admire the way a lot of those you've put on your side yard where it's very sunny, and so a lot of your vegetables and herbs are over there. So,
And they love sun. the
great.
one that I put there.
Well, thank you so much for showing us
Sure.
around. Maybe you all get some ideas from Lita's backyard, particularly some of the landscape construction. She has a nice low deck here in the backyard that's just built with a few timbers, and some great ideas that I'm sure you all can put to use in your own garden. Thank you, Lita.
You're welcome. Appreciate it.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.